She has brought excitement and a joy for life that made me a better man, made me a better person.
He's just a vibe booster in everyone's life that he's in. He's like a human exclamation point. Also, you're so non-judgmental about people, and you were not judgmental about the fact that I knew nothing about the world you were in.
From the moment Travis Kelce first met Taylor Swift, whether at a Kansas City Chiefs game or in the swirl of Snapchats and headlines, something changed. Over time, the stories, the glances, the shared arenas, and the whispered rumors have built up into one central question. Why is Taylor Swift the woman of Travis Kelce's dreams? What is it about her, beyond the fame, beyond the songs, that aligns so deeply with him in ways few would have predicted? And if you zoom in on October 2025, when she's dropping the life of a showgirl and he's turning 36, the timing almost feels like destiny knitting itself together. Let's unravel that. Let's look at the reasons, emotional, symbolic, strategic, personal, that make Taylor his dream match. 1. Sees him beyond the spotlight. Travis lives in a world of stadium lights, adrenaline, and public pressure. As a superstar tight end, scrutiny is constant. Every reception, every drop, every touchdown replayed in microseconds. Yet Taylor's world is even more exposed. Every lyric, every relationship, every headline parsed by millions. That means for Taylor to see him, not just the public persona, not just the athlete, demands something rare, but signs suggest she does. In her rumored bonus track dedication, The Secret 13th, she might weave in lines about Sunday lights and quarterback dreams, references he lives, but she would only use if she truly understood. She's never been a superficial lover of images. She's always latched onto what lies beneath. And Travis, for all his physicality, has spoken of his own insecurities, of needing someone who sees the person, not the player. Taylor, with her empathy, her storytelling, her patience in public relationships, seems uniquely equipped to do that, to say, I see you. 2. He needs grounding. And she offers balance. If you imagine his life, flights, practices, TV cameras, fan demands, a legacy to maintain, it's relentless. He's a man used to adrenaline, pressure, and expectations. Taylor, though a global icon, has also built a life that's introspective. She writes songs in solitude. She retreats into diaries, secret songs, and songwriting camps. She knows how to be still. She's won massive fame, but she also cherishes the private moments, the whispered phone calls, the late-night walks, and the hidden surprises. That combination, high intensity outside and restorative sanctuary inside, is the kind of balance someone like Travis could find magnetic. He doesn't necessarily need someone who lives at his pace 24/7. He needs someone who can meet him and also hold space when the world is too loud. Taylor's public persona is vivid, but her private persona, the way she hides Easter eggs, writes bonus tracks, and communicates in cryptic tweets, shows that she values depth and subtle connection. That's the kind of partner who doesn't just ride shotgun, she helps steer when it matters. 3. Shared ambitions and respect for craft. Travis and Taylor didn't pair because of convenience or spectacle. There's mutual respect there. He's a professional, a craftsman, and a high achiever. He didn't get to where he is by being casual. He doesn't rest on reputation. Neither has Taylor. If you look at her touring history, the re-recordings, the surprise drops, and the ever-evolving aesthetic, she is somebody who lives in ambition. She writes her own rules. She builds her own brand. She reinvents. She stakes claim over her narrative, which isn't dissimilar to how Travis shapes his own career, mastering roots, film study, and pushing athletic limits. Because of that, she's not intimidated by his world. She's intrigued. She can appreciate the sweat, the injuries, and the sacrifice, and he, seeing a performer who treats her craft with worship, can resonate with that level of devotion. That kind of respect, not just for the show but for the work behind the scenes, is a foundation many relationships lack. But for Travis, Taylor isn't just a famous girlfriend. She's a fellow hard-working artist, someone who knows darkness, pressure, praise, and unpredictability. 4. Timing aligns with his milestones. Let's talk about October 2025. It's more than just calendar coincidences. When your partner drops an album 2 days before your birthday, when she schedules major TV appearances following your milestone, those are conscious moves. Taylor's rollout around the life of a showgirl weaves right through Travis's birthday, October 5th, and her Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show slot on October 6th. That's not sloppy scheduling, that's narrative writing. By entwining her public life with his private day, she signals this matters. She's making sure every spotlight she steps into is, in some way, lighting him up too. If Taylor had dropped her album in March or May, none of this alignment would exist, but she's intentionally orchestrating a moment that's not just about her, it's about them. If she can build a world in which the album week is also his birthday week, that's someone who's invested in their story, not just hers. Likewise, we can consider the fact that she chose Travis Kelce's New Heights podcast as the platform to announce her album. It all just sticks. 5. Speaks love with songs. Taylor doesn't just write songs about heartbreak and fame, she writes love songs that linger. She writes odes, dedications, and secrets tucked inside bridges and choruses. In her discography, there are songs that feel like letters to someone she trusts, someone she values deeply. In the early days, she wrote love songs about first dates, innocence, and vulnerability. In later eras, she's woven in more matured love, deep affection, empathy, recognition of flaws, simultaneous independence, and togetherness. If we believe the rumor about a secret 13th track written just for Travis, this possibility cements her as someone who shows devotion through her art. That's not a casual or flashy way to love, that's intimate. That's a gift laid bare. From Lover to Cornelia Street to Daylight, there's a progression from hopeful romance to real, flawed, complicated love. Travis, reportedly not one for glamour's sake, values authenticity. He might see in her songs not a manufactured image, but a real person crafting life out loud. 6. She demands the quiet. One of the biggest challenges in high-profile relationships is that everything can become public property. Photos, rumors, press narratives, and social media storms. Many people crumble under that weight, but Taylor has survived it. She's navigated it, reshaped it, and confronted it. That gives her a rare resilience, one that someone like Travis would trust. He might need someone who can stand in the furnace and not burn. But equally, Taylor often guards the quiet spaces, the late-night texts, the private versions of songs, the surprise dedications, and the hidden tracks. She knows how to toggle between public spectacle and private sanctuary. Travis, who's grown up with public expectations, likely craves those spaces where the world isn't listening. Taylor gives those spaces. She protects them. She crafts boundaries, yet doesn't make them feel cold. If you love someone whose life is always on display, you don't just need someone loud, you need someone who can make silence meaningful. And Taylor, from every hidden lyric and surprise release, shows she knows the power of silence. 7. Encourages growth, not just comfort. Travis is a superstar. He's at the top of his sport. What he doesn't need is someone who stops pushing him. What he wants, perhaps, is someone who sees what he could become and supports that, while also wanting to grow alongside him. Taylor is the kind of partner who doesn't settle in her art. She reinvents, she challenges, and she evolves. She has moved from country roots to pop to indie experimentation, but she's never static. She's the kind of lover who writes songs about waiting, about time, and about reinvention because she's lived them. That means she likely gives Travis space to grow, as a man, as an icon, and as a person beyond football. And she likely wishes for someone who holds her up as she grows too. That mutual upward pull rather than stasis is electrifying. 8. Bigger together than apart. When you look at Taylor's biggest eras, the narrative often includes someone. That someone becomes part of the mythos, from All Too Well to Style to Exile. The songs, the visuals, and the tours often shift when love enters her story. Travis isn't just a chapter, he's aligning to be the entire arc of a new narrative, and that's rare. To have someone who matches both public resonance and private chance. If Taylor's next album is built around the duality of stage life and backstage love, as The Life of a Showgirl suggests, Travis becomes that backstage personification, the guy who isn't just crowd-facing, but heart-facing. In her narrative, he becomes the co-star, not the cameo. And for Travis, having a partner whose life and art already stretch into storytelling, who understands symbolism and image and legacy, gives him someone who doesn't just ride along, he becomes part of the story. 9. The October alignment. October 2025 might be the clincher. As we map out her The Life of a Showgirl launch, Graham Norton, the cinema release, Travis's birthday, and The Tonight Show, it feels like a love story unfolding live on a global stage. She's writing her album release to travel through him. Her birthday strategies intersect with his birthday. Her public moments feel framed so that he too gets spotlight by extension. She's not just dropping music, she's engineering a narrative where he walks beside her, not behind or ahead. If Travis sees in that alignment an intentional partner, Someone who doesn't let her life happen in a vacuum, that's rare. Most people get dropped into someone else's orbit. Taylor seems to be creating an orbit they share. 10. Loyalty, reinvention, and longevity. Taylor has been tested. She's been through heartbreaks, public flame wars, critical reviews, but she consistently reemerges. She protects what's hers. She commits, she reinvents, and she doesn't vanish. If Travis wants a partner who's durable, someone who's been tempered by trials, someone who doesn't run when things get messy, Taylor fits that mold. She's proven time and again that she's not a fling artist. She doesn't vanish, she stays, she fights, and she creates. In that sense, she's not just glamorous, she's steadfast, and for many, that combination is ideal. 11. Symbolic resonance. Let's get symbolic for a minute because with Taylor, everything is layered. The secret 13th track rumor is no small thing. 13 is her number. If she's reserving that slot for a personal dedication to Travis, that's not a casual nod, that's a cosmic handshake. Her album title, The Life of a Showgirl, suggests performance, duality, spotlight. Travis, the man behind the scenes, becomes the natural counterpoint, the one who witnesses her offstage. Scheduling his 36th birthday in the middle of her rollout, again, no coincidence. She aligns the events so that her biggest week is also his week. Appearances on Fallon and Graham Norton, both just before and after, contrast the public and the personal. She's showing two faces, and he stands between them. In these symbols, she doesn't just love him, she frames him in her world. That's powerful. That's someone who sees not just who he is, but who he could be in her mythology. 12. The soft and fierce combination. One of the most compelling things about Taylor is how she merges softness with power. She sings lullabies, she writes heartbreak songs, she wears pretty dresses, but she writes ring-fencing contracts. She surprises drop albums. She cries in songs and she commands stadiums. Travis, as an athlete, is strength embodied. He's a powerhouse, but even powerful men sometimes hunger for softness, for gentleness, and for vulnerability. If he found both strength and softness in the same person, that's a rare alignment. Taylor offers fierce loyalty, artistic ferocity, and strategic mind, but also whispery lyrics, soft gestures, and hidden messages. That duality may be exactly what he's dreamed of, someone who can match energy and sanctuary. 13. Love should be legendary, and she knows how to build legends. In the end, Travis Kelce, who already lives inside legends every Sunday, might simply want a love that feels legendary in a different way. He's familiar with fame, pressure, and the pantheon of great athletes, but we've seen few love stories built so carefully, so publicly, and so artistically. Taylor knows how to build legends, with visuals, narrative arcs, hidden Easter eggs, and storylines that persist beyond a single album. For someone in Travis's world, whose achievements are forever judged by legacy, aligning with someone who creates legacies offers not just companionship, but immortality. In her hands, their relationship becomes not just headline news, it becomes a story fans tell years later. A myth, a turning point, and a moment when two distinct worlds collided and decided to stay. 14. What October might reveal and why it matters. Let's tiptoe back to October 2025, because that month could spell everything. If Taylor does release the rumored 13th track on Travis's birthday, it cements that this album, this era, belongs to them. If she includes lyrics referencing stadium lights, football nights, jersey numbers, or Sunday closeness, she's claiming him in art. If he appears live on Fallon, even for a moment, it shows he's comfortable stepping into her world, not hidden behind it. If her official release party cinema event hints at visuals or videos shot with references to Kansas City or football stadiums, it says she sees their worlds as one. If October delivers those intersections, love, music, performance, surprise, public and private, then Taylor proves she is not just a pop icon, she becomes his. She becomes his dream. So when people ask, why is Taylor Swift the woman of Travis Kelce's dreams? The answer isn't simple, but it's deeply layered. She sees him when others see only the athlete. She anchors him when the world is chaotic. She matches his ambition while protecting the private spaces. She writes love with art. She understands timing, symbolism, and narrative. She weaves her life around his in a way that honors both. She's strong and soft. She's durable, loyal, and reinventing. She builds legends, and she invites him to be them together. October 2025 may be her boldest statement yet, an entire release cycle sculpted so that his birthday, her performances, her public moments, and her art intersect in a story. And in that story, she frames herself not as a star who latches to another, but as a partner who builds with him, side by side. Travis Kelce's dreams probably never included the type of love that's also public art, but with Taylor, it seems like the kind of dream that doesn't need to stay in sleep. It wakes you up and walks you into the spotlight. Because she doesn't just make songs about love, she makes love part of the story, and for him, she might just be the whole narrative. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.